Welcome back, listeners. We're about to take a deep dive you won't soon forget.
That's right.
Today, we're stepping into the world of America's elite retreats.
Mm-hmm.
Using G. William Domhoff's 1975 book, The Bohemian Grove and Other Retreats,
Okay.
we'll explore how these exclusive gatherings
Right.
function not just as luxury vacations, but offer a glimpse into a hidden world where power dynamics, rituals, and social interactions all come into play.
It's like peeking behind a curtain
Yeah.
into a real-life secret society.
Oh, wow.
These retreats go beyond simple escapes from the everyday.
Oh, okay.
They offer a unique perspective on
Okay.
how the upper class strengthens its connections
Yeah.
and possibly even shapes the world outside those secluded gatherings.
That's fascinating. And so we're focusing on three retreats in particular for this deep dive.
Oh, yeah?
First, we'll delve into the legendary Bohemian Grove.
Right.
Then we'll saddle up with the rancheros visitadores.
Sounds good.
And finally, we'll explore the roundup riders of the Rockies. Each one adds a unique piece to the puzzle of how the American elite operates.
Exactly. A great starting point for us
Okay.
is the Bohemian Grove.
Right.
Imagine 2,700 acres of pristine redwood forest in California,
Wow.
all reserved for a select few.
It definitely paints a picture of exclusivity.
Right.
But they don't just relax among the trees, do they?
Not exactly.
I was reading that they kick off their 2-week encampment
Mm-hmm.
with a ceremony called the cremation of care.
Oh,
It sounds almost unbelievable.
Well, it's a grand theatrical production.
Really?
Hundreds of men, many in powerful positions in the outside world,
Right.
gather in red-hooded robes. They form a torchlight procession
Interesting.
for an effigy,
Okay.
a symbol of dull care, representing their worries and stresses.
I can understand the appeal of wanting to leave worries behind, especially for those handling important decisions.
Yeah.
But there's something almost ritualistic about it, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's more than just letting loose.
Okay.
The ceremony creates a shared experience, a sense of camaraderie and release that unites these men. It's like a symbolic separation from the everyday anxieties of ordinary people.
So it's not just a fun spectacle, it's a way of reinforcing their unique identity as a group, separate from us.
Precisely. And this shared identity is strengthened through their theatrical productions called Jinx.
Jinx.
Yeah, the Bohemian Grove has this long-standing tradition of member-produced events. They range from the operetta-style hijinks to the more comedic and sometimes even risque low jinks.
I read that the term jinx itself has a pretty interesting history. It's believed to be from Scottish tradition,
Yeah.
maybe inspired by Sir Walter Scott's novel, Guy Mannering.
It seems like the Bohemian Club really wants to create this unique world,
Okay.
their own tradition,
Yeah.
their own language, almost like
Well,
a super exclusive fraternity for the elite.
Gotcha. So what kind of themes do we see in these jinx?
Well, they vary widely.
Mm.
You might see tales of Robin Hood,
Okay.
or even dramatizations of their patron saint,
Who's that?
St. John of Nepomuk.
Ooh.
He's known for his unwavering discretion.
Okay.
They even have a statue of him at the Grove.
Oh, wow.
He's got his finger to his lips.
That seems very symbolic.
Yeah, it really emphasizes
Yeah.
that what happens at the Bohemian Grove stays at the Bohemian Grove.
Right, reinforcing that air of secrecy around these gatherings.
Exactly.
But it's not all theatrics and rituals, right?
No, you're right.
Domhoff's book also talks about lakeside talks.
Yeah.
These are where prominent figures
Well,
from various fields
Hmm.
give speeches on all sorts of topics.
And these talks can be much more than just casual chats.
Oh, okay.
Even presidents like Richard Nixon used the Grove as a platform to develop ideas.
Interesting.
Ideas that later became national policies.
Wow.
Think about the potential influence
Right.
of these informal discussions among such a powerful group.
It is a little unsettling to think about these figures shaping national policy
Right.
in such a secluded, private environment.
Yeah. But I guess
Yeah.
that's part of the power of retreats like this,
Right.
operating outside the scrutiny of the public eye.
Definitely. And when you look at their past speakers,
Yeah.
names like Dwight Eisenhower, Bobby Kennedy, and Neil Armstrong,
Right.
it's clear these lakeside talks are more than casual brainstorming sessions, that they could very well shape history.
Absolutely.
So we've got rituals, theatrics, high-level discussions.
Yeah.
What about everyday life at the Bohemian Grove?
Well, the Grove is divided into 129 camps.
Wow.
each with its own personality, traditions, and even lodgings.
Okay.
Some are quite lavish.
Almost like a blend of a summer camp and a super exclusive country club.
Yeah.
Domhoff mentions camps like Lost Angels and Silverado Swatters.
There's definitely a playful side to it all.
It can't be all serious business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The camaraderie, the inside jokes, the feeling of belonging,
Yeah.
all play a part in uniting these men.
Right. But no deep dive into the Bohemian Grove would be complete without addressing the, well, rumors of extracurricular activities.
The whispers, the legends.
There have always been whispers of, well, prostitution and something called river jumping.
River jumping.
Apparently sneaking out of the Grove for some late-night fun in nearby towns.
Domhoff does address these rumors. He suggests they were more prevalent in the past.
Okay.
And while he downplays the scale of these activities, the fact that they've persisted in Bohemian Grove's lore for so long speaks volumes about the club's culture of secrecy and indulgence.
It's like this unspoken rule. What happens in the Grove stays in the Grove.
Makes it even more intriguing to understand what goes on behind closed doors.
To really understand the dynamics there, we have to look into the membership of the Bohemian Grove.
Absolutely.
Domhoff found a significant percentage of the members are from the upper class.
Right.
Many are even listed in the San Francisco Social Register and belong to exclusive clubs like the Pacific Union Club. He specifically mentions that 38% of the regular resident members were considered upper class.
So what are the implications of having such a concentration of wealth and power in this group?
Right. Does it create an echo chamber where their views are just reinforced without any outside input?
That's a critical question. It's certainly possible that the exclusivity of these retreats contributes to a certain insularity among the elite.
Yeah.
And this insularity could impact their decision-making and their view of the world beyond the Grove.
It's a fascinating dynamic. And within this predominantly wealthy group, there's also what Domhoff calls associate and professional members. They're the ones providing the talent and entertainment.
It's an interesting point.
Yeah.
There's this kind of symbiotic relationship at play. The wealthy members offer the financial support and social influence, while those talented members contribute to the creative and entertaining atmosphere.
So it's not just about being rich and powerful.
Exactly.
You have to offer something unique. Your artistic talent, your storytelling, whatever it is that you bring to the table.
It's that blend of wealth, talent, and shared experience that defines the Bohemian Grove.
Fascinating stuff.
But this is just one piece of the puzzle. We still have 2 more retreats to explore to fully understand the network of relationships and power dynamics in this hidden world.
I'm all ears. Let's move on to the next retreat.
Sounds good.
See what other secrets we can uncover.
Absolutely.
From those shadowy redwoods, we're heading south to sunny Southern California. Trading in those robes for cowboy hats, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to the Rancheros Visitadores now.
The Rancheros Visitadores? Okay. They can actually be traced back to the Bohemian Grove, right?
You got it. Founded in 1930 by businessman John J. Mitchell.
Okay.
He was actually a Bohemian Club member himself.
So he took inspiration from that model, but wanted something a little more rugged.
Precisely. He wanted that camaraderie and exclusivity.
Yeah.
But with a focus on horseback riding and those early California rancher traditions.
That makes sense.
And he had the perfect place for it.
Oh, yeah.
His own ranch, Rancho Juan y Lolita, named after him and his wife.
I did read that he really went all out.
Oh, yeah.
To recreate an authentic California ranch atmosphere.
Oh, did.
Like, he even salvaged a mahogany bar from a historic place in Santa Barbara.
Wow.
To build this replica of a Barbary Coast saloon.
It really shows how these retreats go beyond the activities.
Yeah.
They create an entire experience, a world separate from the everyday. And for Mitchell, that was recreating that specific vision of California's past.
It makes you wonder, what is it about that historical recreation that's so appealing?
Right.
Is it nostalgia, a longing for simpler times, or something else entirely?
Maybe it's a way for these men, a lot of them captains of industry, leaders in their fields, to connect with a romanticized image of rugged individualism.
Oh, interesting.
You know, a time when fortunes were built on hard work and grit.
It's like they're tapping into a certain mythology, of the American West.
Absolutely.
Even if reality was probably much more complicated.
Right, and this romanticized image is key to the whole ranchero experience.
Yeah.
Especially during their annual ride.
Oh, tell me about this.
Picture this, a procession of over 750 men, all decked out in cowboy gear,
Wow.
going on this week-long horseback journey through the California countryside.
That sounds pretty spectacular.
It starts with a blessing at Mission Santa Ynez, a tradition linking them to those early rancheros they're trying to emulate.
I have to admit, that does have a certain appeal. This mix of history, adventure, and camaraderie.
And it's not just about the ride.
Okay.
Domhoff describes a whole week of events, horse shows, races, a rodeo.
A rodeo, wow.
With both professional and amateur riders.
That's cool.
And of course, plenty of entertainment.
It sounds like a party.
Yeah, well, he mentioned some interesting characters who add to that lively atmosphere. Rodeo star Monty Montana and this real estate developer, Frank M. Bogert.
Okay.
Apparently, he was quite the comedian, known for his witty rodeo commentary. It's a blend of real skill and lighthearted fun.
I like that.
And that humor seems to be a big part of the ranchero experience.
Okay.
Even in their initiation rituals.
Oh, right. What are those like?
Domhoff mentions a maverick camp, where new guys are subjected to pranks.
Oh, fun.
A little bit of playful harassment. As they're learning ranchero lore.
It's probably a way to test if they can take a joke.
Exactly. Building camaraderie through shared experiences, even if it involves some hazing.
I can see that. But like with the Bohemian Grove, the rancheros also seem to have a side they'd rather keep quiet.
Yeah. Domhoff sources say prostitution, although downplayed by the club itself, was a part of the ranchero experience, especially in the past.
It's interesting how these activities pop up in these exclusive settings. You'd think with all the wealth and privilege it wouldn't be necessary. What's your take on that?
It's complicated. It's tough to speculate without more research.
Yeah.
But you could argue that these retreats, by design, create an environment of indulgence.
Oh,
a feeling of being above the rules.
like they can step outside normal boundaries, at least while they're at the retreat.
Right.
So moving on, the rancheros also have their own system of camps, right?
They do. Just like the Bohemians.
What are some of them like?
They have names like Los Borrachos, which means the drunks,
Okay.
each with its own personality and traditions. Those smaller groups are where a lot of the close connections and interactions happen.
Reinforcing that sense of belonging, being part of something exclusive. Domhoff mentions that the rancheros are mostly a California thing. Over 74% of their members are from the state.
Yeah, it's different for the Bohemian Grove.
Right, which draws people from all over the country.
That regional focus makes sense.
Yeah.
Given the rancheros' emphasis on California history, they're celebrating a specific part of the state's past.
That's true. And within the rancheros, we see a similar mix of businessmen and professionals,
Right.
but with more ranchers, which fits their theme.
Exactly. It's an interesting blend of old money and new money,
Right.
united by a love of horses and this desire for an exclusive escape from reality. And just like with the Bohemian Grove, there's a lot of overlap
Okay.
in membership between the rancheros
Yeah.
and other elite groups.
It's like they're creating this web of relationships, reinforcing their connections and influence across different parts of society. It's becoming clearer how power works within these circles.
And that leads us to our last stop, the Roundup Riders of the Rockies. They may be geographically further away, but they're still very much a part of this interconnected world of upper-class retreats.
I'm ready to see how they fit into the picture. Let's head to the mountains.
Sound good.
Okay, we've made it. From California sunshine to those Colorado mountains, time to meet the Roundup Riders of the Rockies. They're like the new kids on the block, right?
Yeah, you could say that. Founded in '48, pretty new compared to the Bohemians and rancheros.
Right?
Actually, the idea came from two Colorado businessmen
Oh, yeah.
on their way back from a ranchero ride.
Interesting.
They wanted something similar back home.
So it's like these clubs inspire offshoots, this branching network of gathering.
Seems that way. But the Roundup Riders had a different goal, too, promoting Colorado tourism,
Okay.
combining their love of riding with a bit of, civic pride.
That's cool.
Their ride, 100 to 125 miles, changes route each year, showing off those landscapes.
Oh, wow. So like cowboy ambassadors for the state.
Exactly.
Domhoff talks about their 10-piece band, guests like Audie Murphy, Fred McMurray,
They know how to put on a show.
even a song, Come Ride with the Roundup Riders.
They get the power of entertainment
Yeah.
for themselves and to promote their vision of Colorado.
And like the others, the Roundup Riders have their pranks too.
Oh, those pranks.
Domhoff mentioned some pretty elaborate ones. Staged Indian raids, raccoons and coonhounds let loose on people.
Makes you think maybe those pranks are more than just fun.
Yeah.
Maybe a way for these powerful men to let loose a bit of, well, childishness.
Right.
Or even testing each other's, resilience.
Like a bonding thing.
Maybe these retreats let them shed some of that formality, the pressures of the outside world.
Okay. But when it comes to comfort, the Roundup riders seem to have it figured out.
Oh, yeah?
Unlike the others, roughing it a bit, the Roundup riders have a team to handle everything.
Right, a crew of 20, taking care of everything. Luxurious tents, cots, even air mattresses.
Wow.
Portable toilets, showers. Like a five-star hotel, but in the wilderness.
That's serious glamping. I get the appeal now.
Yeah. But even with all that, they're still a smaller group, only 130 members.
That's a difference.
They're not as nationally influential as the Bohemians or Rancheros. More regional, Domha says.
So we've gone from California redwoods to those Santa Barbara ranches, and now these Colorado mountains. Rituals, pranks, entertainment, bonding. What's the takeaway? What have we learned about this hidden world?
It's a peek into the social mechanics of the American elite. Shared experiences, rituals, informal connections.
Right.
All important for building relationships, especially among those in power.
It's like their own exclusive world, their own traditions, values, away from outside pressures.
And those connections, built over campfires, drinks, pranks, they can have big consequences.
Yeah.
Shaping deals, influencing policy, even how power is distributed.
That's a lot to consider. It suggests the real decisions, the ones that affect all of us,
Right.
aren't made in public, but in these private gatherings.
Makes you wonder, are these retreats harmless fun or something more? Something maybe a bit concerning about how power works.
It's a good question to ask. And clearly there's more to uncover, more layers to peel back about this world.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, look for those hidden connections that shape things.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into upper-class retreats. Until next time.